We just went through 50 years of a culture war having to do with abortion. And by the way, we're not through it, but we're 50 years into this culture war having to do with abortion. For the vast majority of that history, people who were pro-life were considered wrong. Some were considered violent and evil because they did things like target abortion doctors or, actually perpetrate violence on that abortion clinics. That did happen. It was very, very, very rare. For example, what we've had in the last couple months since the Roe v. Wade decision was overturned and the Dobbs decision was a repeated set of acts of violence against pro-life pregnancy centers. I mean, these are people that literally open their doors and welcome in women who feel like they are in crisis. And they are the targets now of violence repeated. I forget how many acts there are. You've looked at this. You may know what the actual number is. But we're not talking about 5 or 6. We're talking about dozens and dozens and dozens across the country. So suddenly, the Christian position, or the pro-life position more broadly, is not just considered wrong or outdated or prudish or silly or based on some metaphysical belief. It's actually now being called and considered a violent position, a hostile position against women, an evil position. Being characterized that way then justifies an awful lot of things. The examples that we listed, none of them had anything to do with Christian extremism or Christian nationalism. Jack Phillips did not go on a crusade to not bake cakes. 2 activists came into a store, and then the state of Colorado has now waged a 10-year war against one of its own citizens. Jack Phillips is not a Christian nationalist. Barronelle Stutzman is not a Christian nationalist. The little 9-year-old girl down in Mississippi, not a Christian nationalist. These are all people who have found themselves on the other side of a group of government officials who have the power on an issue. Their position would not have been considered extreme yesterday, and today it is. That's where we're at.